Vice President Joe Biden just can't seem to stop grabbing people. Now, in a recent exchange with an Iowa voter, the vice president got a little testy after being asked about climate change. Take a look.
Support you if you win the nominations. We got to go to
Remy?
Trump. But what are we going to do about climate change? Now, you say you're against pipelines, but then you want to replace these gas lines. That's not going to work. We can't. We got to stop building and replacing pipelines. You got to go vote for somebody else.
All right, thanks so much, sir. We're going to have you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I'm going to vote you in the general if you treat
Yeah, I
me
know.
right.
Well, I'm not.
Well, can I have a
Look,
picture?
Thank
you're
you,
asking
thank
a
you.
picture of me. You're coming up and telling me you don't support me.
No.
My plan. Yeah, you did. You said you
I said I would support you in the
in
general.
the general. I'm looking
Right.
for a primary.
We're happy to
and
get
a
a number.
caucus.
We can follow up.
That's what I'm looking for, okay?
Just 'cause
Now,
we're trying to get-
you believe that Bernie can do something by 2030?
I'm actually supporting Tom Steyer.
Thompson, well, that's good. He's the guy that did
Thanks
more
so much,
coal
sir. We have
mines.
a long line right
He
here.
made more coal than the entire country did.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Happy to get
You
input.
got the right
Can we
guy.
get a picture?
So he's grabbing the guy and then poking his finger into his chest. Why do you keep doing that, Joe? Stop. Stop doing that. He's running for president. He can't keep his hands to himself. Really? Really? Don't do that. Now, it's important to note that Joe Biden has never won a presidential primary before, right? He's ran at least 3 times. He's gotten crushed. Why? Because he does stuff like this. I mean, come on, dude. Don't do that. And by the way, the person that he was poking and grabbing is Ed Fallon. Now, Ed Fallon is the leader of the environmental conservationist group Bold, Iowa. Now, Fallon is worried about oil pipelines like Dakota Access, Keystone XL. And the reason, of course, is because not only do they exacerbate climate change, but they also leak a lot, right? And that's damaging for the environment. And so this is a pretty valid concern, and yet was still treated like this. Biden, not a good guy here, right? And here's the thing. He's acting a lot like he's above reproach. In that way, I think he's far worse than Hillary Clinton, actually. But it is that same air that I get from him of the, hey, it's my turn. Don't you dare question me. I'm here because I deserve this. And you've heard him before. Go vote for somebody else. Go vote for Bernie Sanders then. Well, okay, we'll keep telling people that. In fact, I'm in favor of that message. But Fallon, as he mentioned in that video, he's not actually supporting Bernie Sanders. He's supporting Tom Steyer. Now, Tom Steyer's whole deal is let's do something about the environment. Okay. Now, the thing is, Tom Steyer is not an actual serious candidate. He's been spending pretty much all of his money in South Carolina. And so, look, again, he's got only a campaign team basically in South Carolina. Not a serious candidate, whatsoever. But still, I think when Tom Steyer drops out, the candidate that is best on the environment is going to be Senator Bernie Sanders. In fact, he gets an A+, the only person to get an A+, from Greenpeace. Now, Fallon told The Independent that he's repeatedly approached Biden about his concerns about climate change and fossil fuels, but says it's never been resolved. It seems like there's a disconnect. Interesting. No, Ed, I'm sorry, dude. You seem like a nice guy, and I'm on your side, but it is not a disconnect. Joe Biden doesn't care. Joe Biden takes money from fossil fuel companies and then does their bidding. And so it's super easy to see where Joe Biden is on an issue. You just follow the money. And that's why he gets so angry when you actually challenge him on it, because there's absolutely no defense. Now, afterwards, Fallon wrote this, that he found Biden's behavior during their talk to be, quote, disturbing on a number of levels, citing his propensity to violate personal space. Oh, this never happened with Joe Biden. Violating personal space? What are you talking about? And, quote, creating prime fodder for opponents and the media to attack Biden's campaign. Well, again, he's not wrong about that. That's literally what I'm doing this very second. I am using this to attack Biden's campaign. Why? Because his actions are ridiculous. If you're trying to win, maybe you should appeal to voters. I mean, why would you do that? Now, imagine if Bernie Sanders did something like that, right? Started poking voters and things like that. Now, Bernie Sanders, he's already getting attacked in the media. Joyanne Reed bringing on this ridiculous body language expert. He wags his fingers at people, and he's loud, and he's hunched over, and he does like a turtle thing. No, it's ridiculous, right? Heads would explode though if he literally couldn't keep his hands off the voters. I mean, come on, dude. Really? Bernie Sanders at least tries to listen to people and have a conversation. That's why people like Bernie Sanders, because he believes in his positions and actually wants to fight for them. Whereas Joe Biden just says, we'll go vote for somebody else. Again, that's the same thing that Hillary Clinton said, oh, we don't need Bernie Sanders voters. We don't need progressives. We don't need your vote. Get out of here. Go vote for somebody else. And Biden has a history of telling people to vote for someone else. There are at least, 4 or 5 documented videos of him telling some people to vote for somebody else. In fact, I do have one of them I'd like to show you. This is Biden telling an activist to go vote for someone else.
How can young folks trust that you're going to fight for us on climate change when your climate advisor, your hand-picked climate advisor, served on the board of a fossil fuel company?
That is not the person who's doing my advising. And by the way, yeah, they have records.
Yeah.
Look at my record. Just look at the record.
I have President Biden, Vice President Biden.
Well, I tell you what, if you look at my record and you still doubt about my commitment, then you should vote for somebody else.
Go vote for somebody else. Go vote for somebody else. He even told an immigration activist to go vote for Donald Trump. How, disconnected from the voters is he? So now Fallon ended his column by saying, quote, Biden is simply wrong on climate change and out of step with voters on so many issues, which is why you have all these videos of people challenging him and basically getting told off, right? Bernie Sanders, by the way, here's the thing. Why should anybody vote for Biden when people like Bernie Sanders actually do better against Donald Trump? Again, the main argument here is, well, I can beat Donald Trump. But wait, everybody beats Donald Trump except for Amy Klobuchar. Amy Klobuchar literally, according to national polling, loses to Donald Trump. So I personally do not believe that Biden's lead over Trump will hold in a general election, by the way. I think he's got too much baggage. I think he's got the Hillary Clinton problem. But I hope we don't have to find that out. I hope that people do not make the same mistake as they did with Hillary Clinton and nominate somebody who literally is the face of the establishment. So now one more fun note here. This is Tom Steyer, right, who weighed in on Twitter. He said this, quote, that's no way to treat an Iowan. He said he'd vote for the Dem in the general because he knows how important it is to beat Trump. We need immediate action on climate. If you don't agree, happy to talk at debate, but don't take it out on voters. We need to win in November. To which I say, yeah, good, okay. But no, seriously. Again, I have a big issue with Biden in the condescension, right? Acting like he deserves this nomination and is getting petulant by attacking voters, or I'm sorry, when challenging voters, and he attacks them when they bring up his record. This isn't 1992, right? People can check your record. They will challenge you on it. And if you don't like it, well, then maybe you should drop out. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.